the sky comes a fearful cry. It's Cobra. And this, of course, is the Terror Drome, which, if you have not been following along, was picked up at Joe Fest. We did the Joe Fest video, and then we did a G.I. Joe Journey video, which I do sometimes, just showing, you know, hey, I finally got this. This is a grail of mine. I had one once before, part of the collection that I lost. Now I have it again, and I spent a long time looking for one of these in decent shape, because you can buy one for not a bad price, missing like half the parts or broken pieces or whatever, but finding individual parts and replacing things that are broken or damaged, you'll end up paying 2-3 times the cost of finding one complete, ultimately. And also, I got a fantastic price on this. I was shocked by what the guy wanted. And I was like, wow, okay. And it is 100% complete. And nothing is broken. No, I take that back. There's a tab on one of the fuel lines that is broken. And I think that's it. The rest of this is intact. Stickers, I think there's only a couple of stickers missing, which is phenomenal for this. Also did a video cleaning it up, because people were asking me, it was really soiled and dirty, and asking me, hey, can you show us how you're going to clean it? And I think it came out nice. It's a lot brighter now, as you can see. And we'll take a look around the whole Terror Drome here and just show you what all it is. And then we're going to move it to its new home in the museum, and then we're going to fill it up with a bunch of loose figures, my original Joes that I still managed to hold on to from my childhood. Now, this was a very ambitious project on the part of Hasbro. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this was debuted in 1986. How long ago was that, ladies and gentlemen? 1986. You see, these are all rocker seats. They all kind of like, you know, you can get your Televipers to sit in there. Unfortunately, I don't have any Televipers. And they come out easy enough. They just kind of slip out, as do these panels. If you needed to take them apart, lift up and lift out to get those off. And I'm not going to mess with them too much, because these also can come off, but they're very easily broken. And you would pull this out, and you would press this down and push this at the same time to release these two hooks. And then it'll come loose and you can open it up like that. But these are, so many Terror Dromes have these broken. So I only took them off to clean them, and I'm not gonna, you know, I don't want to pull it off again. These lift right out, they're just on a peg. And then these will come off the same way. But this is a very ambitious project on the part of Hasbro. I'll go ahead and open this up, if I can find the right panel. It's here somewhere. I know I turned it around, that's why I can't find it. Because of just the sheer size of it. And here comes your complete fire bat. And I left the harness out, well, the parachute, basically, because you know they were always jumping out. Anything scratched one of these planes, it would fall apart. That's how G.I. Joe ARAH, the cartoon, worked. But this is like unused, so I didn't even want to put it on or put him in it. But here's our fire bat, folded wings. We'll open them back up. So of course it's like an escape vehicle. Launch out of the center, and I guess the back blast will kill everybody that's in the command center. Cannons underneath, as well as rockets and missiles. And the landing gear is actually fake. It doesn't work at all. The landing gear does nothing. And there's your pilot sitting inside. I'll take him out so you can get a better look at him. Here's our pilot, ready to go, and still has his chest emblem, which is often rubbed off. This was the second of their like really big playsets. I mean, they had other playsets that they had done, like the G.I. Joe headquarters, which I have sitting right down there, which is a great playset. The G.I. Joe headquarters is a fantastic playset. And they had the tactical battle platform, And then in '85, I believe, is when they debuted the USS Flag, which was an amazing piece. And we'll take a look down in here. You can see this is this platform that it sits on, which is literally only attached right here where this chain is, because it's not connected to anything else. And then the fake wheels go in there, and then the wings clip in here when they're folded up, so that we can set it right back down in like that. It just kind of holds it in place, and then you grab the lever, and you'll see the lever when we go underneath, and it closes up like that. So this was the Flag was debuted in 1985, I believe, and then this in '86 with a suggested retail price of $79.99, and the Flag was twice as much, so $80. And look at the play value on this. Look at the play value on this, and we'll go around and take a look inside these doors here. As each of these, and again, these are all intact, no broken tabs. This is a little docking station for a vehicle. You see it's got the gas can and the tab back here. One of these hoses, the tab is broken, and I think that's the only broken piece. Additionally, this does slide out. You can slide this out and remove it, or flip it up so you take it completely out if you wanted to stick something else in there. Or get that back in. Or of course you can tip it up like this. Doesn't stick very well because of the hose though. Another thing that I really like about how they design this is how the doorways, there's a doorway between each panel that cuts through to the other rooms. This is a gun port. A little seat here, and of course this raises and lowers so you can get one of your Cobra soldiers to sit in here, and you've got an ammo box affixed inside there. I don't know how well you can see that as we continue to go around. This is just a blank room. Do whatever you want. There are foot pegs in most of these, like you see a couple of foot pegs there where you can affix the Cobra figures, or Joe figures if you like. That is the launch mechanism. Pushing it down raises the platform, and then of course you lift it up to drop it out again. I forgot to put his pack away. Another gun pod. Here you see from the outside, and then open the door, and there's where you can seat your man. Like I said, there's just so much play value with this. There's the jail cell, sliding door, standing room only in sharp contrast, and there is a foot peg in here as well. There's two foot pegs in here. The one in the G.I. Joe headquarters is much larger, so I guess they're more humane than Cobra when it comes to prisoners. Another fueling port, and this would accommodate something like this. The ATV, for example, could sit in there and then roll out to defend against G.I. Joe, and I guess hit this and break their axle. This is kind of inconvenient, but it's great for storage for stuff like this. And the last panel is another fueling station, and there are 8 total panels. It is an octagon with this round piece sitting on top with the set of battlements. 6 battlements, right? 6 battlements, and then the 2 rotating gun pods which raise and lower. And there is a little clicking mechanism that controls that, so you can shoot straight down to a point. Just trying to be careful with the clicking mechanism, because even though it's a fantastic playset, one of the best of the 80s, it's still fragile. That's why so many of these are damaged, and why it's so difficult to find one in halfway decent condition. I'll just go ahead and put his parachute back where I had it so it doesn't get lost. Lock that away. And of course, you know, they didn't anticipate that these play sets were going to last. You know, they thought, oh, kids will play with it, they'll break it up, whatever. They didn't think that decades later, guys like me were going to want this again, you know, for our nostalgia, for our memories, for our pop culture, our love of the characters and cartoons and comics and toys that we had in our youth. And of course, we have all of the paperwork here. I can go ahead and let you check that out. This goes to the Pterodrome, and that is all the label placement. Everywhere where the stickers is supposed to go, basically. And on the other side, going around for more sticker placement. And again, this is another really impressive element of the Hasbro ARAH era G.I. Joes. Here's your blueprints and schematics telling you what everything is. This just adds an element of realism to the play value of the toy as well, and the assembly instructions. And then on the back side here, more assembly instructions. As you can imagine, even though it came in a big square box, there was still a lot of finagling to get this thing together. And I really commend Hasbro for the play value of this toy, as well as many other of the original ARAH. That's for the Firebat. Because there are some other classic playsets that don't have quite the play value that the Pterodrome does. And that's your assembly instructions, as well as sticker placement on that back of the sheet there. For example, when you see a top 10 list of best 80s playsets, and here's the Firebats. If you could, how's the glare on that?
No, it's good.
Okay. They always have Castle Grayskull. And I like Castle Grayskull, and it looks great, but the play value, to me, it's really not there. There's not too much you can do with Castle Grayskull. It's more like a carrying case than anything. This is a play set. There's so much that you can do with this as a child. I would be so excited to. I did not have this when I was a kid, but I would have been so excited to have this as a kid. Mostly I had a handful of vehicles and a lot of figures that I obtained myself, however I could get them, you know, collecting bottles and cans, doing odd jobs. You know, I grew up in Boston, and they had the bottle redemption. Wherever I could scrounge some change together and go to Osco's or Caldor's or Ann and Hope or Bradley's and find some Joe figures. So we're going to take this over to its new home right next to Serpentor there. And then I've got some bits and pieces that I can use to accessorize it. This is the space I cleared out. Is it making contact with the wing?
Yeah, you probably need to push Serpentor
Yeah,
over.
I need to move Serpentor just a hair more out of the way. And that is a Prime 1 Serpentor statue. That was a gift. Someone gave this to me. Can you believe that? Who would give me something like this?
Maybe somebody give me a Prime 1 Studio statue.
Actually, the stunning young lady behind the camera is the one that gave me that Serpentor. Can you believe it? What a lucky guy I am. She gave that to me. And I'll turn it like this. And you can reconfigure these rooms, because now you can't see the cannons, the other cannons, but these rooms you could reposition. These you cannot. If I took this off and I took this piece out, the slots are positioned differently. So the slots on these positions will only accommodate the cannons,
Right.
but not anywhere else. Any of these are interchangeable, but not the position of the cannons. So you're at a disadvantage there. And now I can start to do a little something here to accessorize the entire operation. Just set it up. I've got this piece, which was available at the same time. And this is mine from childhood, because this is about as much playset as I could afford as a kid. Right here, if I can get it into the slot. There we go. I have the rocket that goes with this too, but I don't know where it is. See, it's just like a bunker, basically. And it says Cobra on it, so you know who it belongs to. I like how it's got the little TV screens in there. Walkie-talkie and stuff. Set that right there. I've got the Cobra ATV, which is tough to find loose intact. And this also is mine from childhood. So even though I had a lot of pieces taken, I did manage to hold on to a bunch of personal childhood pieces. I've got a bag full of Cobras that I'm going to dig through. Not that bag. That's a bag full of Smurfs. They'll have to go somewhere else. This is the bag full of Cobras. And there are a lot here, and I'll go ahead and I'll lay these out, and I'll figure it out as I go. There's the Armored Cobra Commander, the original Destro. That's actually the pilot for that one vehicle I can't think of the name of. This guy, who was never in the cartoon. And Army Building. I've got a bunch of these and a bunch of bats, and they're all complete and relatively unplayed with, because all I ever did, there's Monkey Wrench, all I ever did was really just kind of set them up. I didn't do anything with them. So I was posing them as a child. So the condition is really quite excellent. This goes with that, actually. Buzzer dropped his chainsaw. I know, right? All of the Cobra bats. That goes with him. There's the hooded Cobra Commander, the mail-away version, which I actually mailed away for. That is my childhood mail-away Cobra Commander. My original Firefly with his original radio. He always is missing that radio. I think the radio's worth more than the figure. I do not have any... I've got a bunch of these, but I don't have any actual Cobra soldiers. The Baroness. Some of their guns have fallen out. More bats. There's ARAH. Okay, I don't know why he's in there. Traitor. But no regular Cobra soldiers. I no longer have my Tomax and Zaymot. Big Boa, which some of you know the story of that figure. He was supposed to be, they were going to make an official Rocky figure as a G.I. Joe trainer, and that was supposed to be his. Oh, I do have my Tomax and Zaymot. Okay. I thought I had misplaced them. My original childhood Tomax and Zaymot. Major Blood. That's the rocket that goes with this. See? So I continue to dig. Oh, look, another bat. What are these bats going for a piece now? Mint
$100.
Yeah, mint unplayed with loose like that. I know that they're going for a pretty penny. There's Dr. Mindbender running around with no shirt and a cape. I don't know about you, Mindbender. Rockmaster. I think. And another trader. What are you doing in there? Surviving, I guess. Survival. Maybe I'll put them in the jail. They don't belong here. That actually goes to an adventure team, Joe. I don't know why that's in there. Knock that out of the way. And these are the missing accessories from some of these other figures, so that I can sort them out. So no regular Cobra soldiers and no Televipers, which Televipers would make sense. They would fit very nicely in there, because they're the ones that would be at the control panels in the actual Pterodrome. So we can go ahead and cut away. That's 8 bats. 8 bats. That's a lot of bats. We'll go ahead and cut away, and then we'll fill it up and see how it looks.
Okay, I just had a couple of questions for you while you
Uh-oh.
put together your playset. Hold on, let me pull up a chair.
Oh, it's like that. Huh?
Yeah.
Pull up a chair time.
Uh-huh. I just wanted to ask some questions. Maybe some of the viewers probably had some questions, but you were talking about earlier the playability of this particular playset, the Pterodrome, Drome,
Yes.
Pterodrome.
Pterodrome.
Of the G.I. Joe playsets that you have experience with.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you think is the best?
That's hard to say. Of the play sets that I've messed around with.
Yeah, or you got experience or knowledge, because you don't want to talk about, oh, I think the flag is the best, and then you never even touched it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Well, people can speculate though. I like this one a lot. I like this one a lot. You get your whole base here. There's so much that you can do with this. And also I like the mobile command center. Although the mobile command center is even more fragile. Because it opens up, it's a huge vehicle. It's sitting over there.
Right.
But,
There's this van.
That big truck with the 6 on it.
Yeah, the van.
That's the mobile command center. And it opens all up into like this huge play set. But it's really fragile. Like if I picked it up to move it, things would fall off it.
Okay.
And that one is like perfect. That one's in fantastic condition. But I do like that one. I like this one. If I was a kid, this is what I would want.
Right.
Of course you would want the flag because it's just massive.
Right.
But actually, I think you can get more out of this than the flag, to be honest. Even though, of course, you can land an aircraft on the flag.
Yeah.
Or put an aircraft on it, but it really can't accommodate very many, despite the fact that it's like 7 feet long when it's assembled. But I didn't have a flag, so I can't say too much about it. But Hasbro, I think, offered fantastic playability with its playsets. something that's that was lacking in a lot of other play sets, because they were cheap and they cut corners, and they might have good detail. This has good detail too, because like the air vents and things that are inside here, there's grooves cut into them. There's a lot of texture to this when you touch it. It's got flimsy components. Like I said, you often find the Pterodrome with a lot of damage because things break off. Things break off. The flag, things are always broken. Tabs are always broken. Things are always missing. Like I said, the mobile command center is always coming apart. You got to be careful with it. But other play sets, because people have named Castle Grayskull or the Cat's Lair from the Thundercats, and it's just a piece of blow mold. It's got a nice sculpt to it, but it's a piece of blow mold, and you turn it around and there's nothing there. Or the Castle Grayskull, it's like a carrying case. You open it up and you have like these two little thin walkways and a trap door, and it's so narrow you can barely stand the figures up in there. And I'm like, that's not that impressive. I mean, you can still get a lot out of it as a little kid. Use your imagination, that's the idea. But this offered so much more opportunity for your imagination because it's got so much going on. It's got all these rooms, and it's got this command center, and you've got this a vehicle actually, the Firebat actually emerges up out of the center of this thing. You saw it in the show. And they can only make it so big, but you can get a lot more out of it, I think. I think Hasbro really nailed it in the 80s with these play sets. And it's a shame you can't get that anymore. You really kind of can't, not unless it's some kind of a crowdfunding thing.
Right.
Like they did the Jabba's sail barge. That's as close as anybody's gotten to a play set in a long time. And then they had Super 7, the Snake Mountain?
Yeah.
But how much was it?
It was like, the Snake Mountain was like $700, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like
$700.
$750 or $850 or something like that,
Yeah.
plus the shipping or whatever additional charges there were on that. That's expensive. That thing was up there. So, I mean, if Hasbro, because I know they still do stuff. They've got a Hiss tank going now. Yeah. But it's $300. It's $300 for the Hiss tank in the 6-inch scale for the classified series. Can you imagine what it would cost if they made one of these? You'd be better off buying a vintage one.
Yeah, but it'll be cool though because it'll be all big.
Yeah, it would
and you can put your 6-inch figures in it.
Yeah, it would be huge. It would have to be like twice this size, and they probably want like $1,500 for it.
But people would buy it.
They would. I think that they would. I think that they would buy it. As I continue, I got sidetracked, but as I continue to stand people up here, I've run out of foot pegs. So I don't want to overload this either, and put like just everybody in here, because I think that would be too much.
Then it look all busy.
Yeah, I don't want it to be too busy. It's already a lot of people in here.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to ask that.
Sure.
To give people an idea, because I know there's a lot of videos out there naming the top 10 play sets of the 80s, and you rarely ever see a G.I. Joe play set on it. If you do, It might be one. And I'm not, I don't have a lot of experience with play sets, but, getting to know you and being married and seeing the different play sets, and I see the G.I. Joe ones, and I'm like, man, it's a lot going on with these compared to the ones that are normally named. And Castle Grayskull is always number one, and I've seen Castle Grayskull.
It's not that impressive.
It's not impressive at all. It's iconic because, a lot of people got a soft spot for Masters of the Universe. I do. But as far
she's a huge fan of the Masters, as you can see.
Yeah, but as far as that being a grail playset or even a great playset, I don't think I would put it on the top 10. So, But anyway,
Yeah, like you said, G.I. Joe is often left out, and there are fantastic examples of Joe playsets. Of course, the flag, which I think is usually named, but the Pterodrome is often looked over.
even the headquarters, and you got the
Yeah.
headquarters, and I watch you put that together and mess around with it a little bit.
But I mean, the headquarters is right here.
Yeah.
You know, you can see that, and it's got the headquarters has a lot going on for it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's simple. I mean, it's just you got your wall, and then you got the floor space, and you got a couple of vehicle decks, and all these guns and cannons, and you got a big jail there, and a storage area for guns in the back, and there's a lot here. And the chopper platform is underneath, though,
Yeah.
because you can land your helicopter on that or whatever you want.
Yeah.
And there are other big playsets like the tactical battle platform. Which they had, which is a decent playset. They had a lot going for them. I think they had some of the best looking playsets of the 80s. But yeah, like you said, you often don't get to see it. Well, we can go ahead and take a look at this here.
Are you ready? I mean,
Yeah, I think I'm about done because I'm not going to overload it. I don't want to fill it up. I've got, my soldiers, and there's the original. I had 5 of these. The original Hooded Cobra Commander, Mail Away, Firefly, Tomax, and Zaymot. These guys, which are actually, what vehicle did they go for? They went for a vehicle. I forget the name of it, but I put them up in the cannon. Crimson Guard soldier there, Major Blood. The armored Cobra Commander with Dr. Mindbender. I got them coming out of the bay here doing something, the Dreadnoughts. I wasn't sure if I do anything else, I might set up the bats out in front, but I don't have foot pegs for everybody.
Yeah.
But I've got a bunch of spares. I don't want to overload the whole thing, though, and just because I think that the G.I. Joe headquarters there is kind of busy.
Yeah.
It's because I just put everybody in there just to get them out of the way. But I didn't want to do too much of that here. But yeah, iconic playset, one of the best of the 80s, easily. And I think overlooked, as people always want the flag. The flag is a big grail for a lot of people too, and I get it. And it's the price point on the flag that I think is the big put off, because you can find a flag.
Yeah, we saw 3 or 4 at the Joe Fest just this week, and they were in the box.
Yeah, there was like 3 or 4 in the box, and there was a couple loose. Complete. And a few in pieces as well.
Yeah.
You could find it if you're going to pay for it. This is getting up there too, though, complete. But I think it's probably harder to find one of these complete than it is to find the flag. Oh, another one that should be on the list is the Defiant. Because you got that whole gantry system, and you got the shuttle and the jet, and it comes with the 2 figures. The Defiant, and that's another one that's hard to find all together as well, because again, it's very fragile, which most of the toys made in the 80s were kind of fragile playsets and vehicles. Things break or get lost or damaged, whatever. They weren't sturdy like the Fisher-Price Adventure People. I think Fisher-Price Adventure People are very underrated. That was a very sturdy, well-built toy and figure. But what are you going to do? $79.99. Would you have bought it? I think it was worth it. This is a fantastic playset. Thoughts, guys? Let me know what you think in the comments section down below as I continue to mess around with this. Did you have this playset? Is this something that you would like to own? Something that's on the radar, maybe, if you're an ARAH collector? Just let me know what your thoughts are. And if that's it, then what more can I say but thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.